Reality Tea times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing MILF Manor. So before we do, let's do some hot goss. So Lauren and Lexi apparently was maybe currently in Israel. So in June this month, Lauren and Alexi finally decided to go on their much awaited trip to Israel. They recently flew to Alexi's home country, but didn't take their kids with them, which is maybe the best decision under the circumstances. Lauren apparently first shared a selfie from Israel later in the month. The mom of 303 titled the post, no better feeling than being home. And Alexi also posted about his Israel trip sometime after Lauren did. He shared a selfie with his wife from the airport and wrote 48 hours followed by an Israeli flag. Lauren and Alexi didn't share a lot about their main agenda for being in Israel. They don't have to. However, they seemed happy and couldn't stop smiling in their photos. The couple also used some emotional hashtags using quote, Holy Land, quote, home, letting fans know how much the country means to her. Alexi titled the post, quote, hashtag family, hinting that he was back in Israel to meet up with his parents. But it looks like they've been getting a little bit of pushback on the posts that they've been currently posting. One Instagram user questioned, celebrating the war is over? Insinuating that Lauren and Alexi were smiling so much in order to show that everything was okay in Israel, which I actually don't think they're trying to do that. They've been very open on the show currently, talking about how this is weighing on them as a family, so it's kind of a stretch, but the user further asked if the couple had any plans to volunteer in the war. Now, as we know, again, if you watch the show, that he has contemplated volunteering, but he is still a father of 3. So, is it realistic for him to be doing it? I don't know. But let's continue. Another user remarked, sick people. Okay. Implying that the 90 Day Fiancé cast members were insensitive for posting such tone-deaf pictures from a country in conflict. I get that, but referring to people as sick, especially people you don't know personally, is just not the way to go. But Alexi's posts also received significant criticism from social media users. While some understood that he had visited the country to meet his family, others thought it was a bad idea to make it seem like everything was fine there. We know things aren't fine there. We don't need to listen, if you want the true story, well, if you want to call it that, about what's going on in Israel right now, don't go to Lauren and Alexi's Instagram page to get the facts. They're not here to deliver the facts. They're going to support the country. This is Alexi's home, and this is where his parents are. So they're obviously going to do what they can to support the country. I guess my confusion is like, are you expecting them to constantly paint that everything is bad or everything is good or whatever? Like, they're not your source for that. Like, let them enjoy the time in Israel with his family without the negativity. But anyways, let's continue. People felt that Lauren and Alexi's social media posts were inappropriate because they didn't adequately address current controversies surrounding Israel. Again, do you people watch the show? I don't know. But anyways, their happy and romantic pictures from Israel made them seem like attention seekers. Unfortunately, Lauren and Alexi were accused of posting such photos for clicks and views. However, that might not be exactly the truth. Despite receiving significant criticism in the comment section, some 90 Day Fiancé viewers did support the couple, particularly Alexi. They wished them luck and hoped for their well-being. Some fans liked the couple's post because they felt Alexi deserved to see his family. People also appreciated that the couple didn't take their 3 children with them. I also agree with that, protecting them from potential danger. Fans support Alexi because he left his country and his family to marry her, right? So let him be happy. They understand why he occasionally returns to his home country despite the ongoing war. I think we can all agree with that. I think this was from a user. They said, quote, "Still, it was probably not wise for Lauren and Alexi to visit Israel at this time. It would have been better if they had arranged for Alexi's family to visit them. It's not as easy as that, guys. I understand what you're saying, but it's not as easy as that, especially under the circumstances with Israel being in a war right now. It's not as easy as that, though. It wasn't easy as that as before. They can't just, I guess technically his dad did, but I don't know if Israel is a country where you have to get a travel visa. So if you have to have a travel visa, how do you want them to do that under the circumstances that Israel's currently in? But again, if you don't need a travel visa, then fine. But I don't know if they do. But just under the assumption, if they do need a travel visa, how do you expect them to do that? I think issuing travel visas right now is the least of people's concerns. So it's a nice sentiment though, but let's continue. Yeah, so they said that so that his parents could meet Shai, Ariel, and Asher, which obviously his dad's met all 3. I think his mom has met 2. He hasn't met Ariel, but I get it. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on with them. Let's go to the next piece of hot gossip. This is one that I'm kind of reading along with you guys before, I usually read them ahead of time. We're going to read them with you. So, Susan from The Golden Bachelor, my girl, apparently had her eye on a certain dad from the Bachelor franchise who wasn't necessarily a lead person. And we're talking Kelsey's dad, Mark. She said, "When we met him at your finale, of course, Susan elbowed her way in to see if she could maybe date the guy." And this was said by Kathy on June 26th episode of the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, which is their podcast. Susan interjected by saying, quote, "We were emailing long before that." Oh, really? As Kathy gushed that Mark is a super nice guy. After Kathy joked that she's going to have to pursue Mark after all of the praise, Susan added, "He's 57, Kathy." Yikes. I see what you did there. Susan. And Kathy says, "So what? I can go younger." Of course, why not? When asked how she would feel if Mark had a similar dating experience to her, Kelsey apparently said that she would fully support it. She said, "I want my dad to get out there. I want my dad to date. I think that my mom really would want him to. My mom, before she passed, always said, I want you to find somebody else. I want you to find another love." Before she was even sick, she would always say this. She just knew that she was going to pass before him. Wow, that's sad. Apparently, Kelsey noted that she and her other siblings would support their dad because they, quote, "want him to be happy and find a partner to travel and do things with." She went on to say, "I feel like my dad gave all of us so much love growing up, and he still does. I just feel like my dad deserves love as well. I think that loving your family is different than loving a partner, and I think that he needs that support of a partner, someone that's not his kid, not his brother, his sister-in-law, like his best friend. I think my dad is deserving of that." And I agree with her. While Kelsey has been supportive of her dad getting back out there, she said it took some time, took some of her siblings a little bit longer to feel that way. She said, my dad hasn't really dated. He kind of dated one or two ladies, but it was very kind of, I don't feel like he fully felt like he could date them because he always felt guilty about it. Because he feels like nobody is going to replace our mom. And I can't keep saying the like, because you don't need to keep saying that. Anyways, we know that nobody's going to replace our mom, but it's going to be a different love and it's going to be something that you deserve. She continued, we just want him to be happy and find a best friend like how he was with my mom as well. So this is interesting that it's kind of asked of her how she would feel if he were to date in a similar way that she did, because I think this is definitely kind of pushing us into the belief of we're going to see her dad again. Anyway, that with that piece of hot goss. Got one more for you. Does anyone remember who Hannah Ann Sluss is? I feel like we had two Hannahs during Hannah Brown's season, and this is the other Hannah. I can't remember much about her, but anyways, she apparently got married to an NFL star, Jake Funk, in an intimate Italian wedding ceremony. I'll have pictures in case anyone wants to remember who she is, because I sure as hell don't. On Wednesday, June 26th, the 27-year-old former Bachelor star married NFL player Jake Funk in an intimate ceremony in the picturesque Italian countryside. The couple, who publicly announced their relationship in February 2022 and got engaged in January 2023, exchanged vows in a private ceremony at a 12th century castle nestled in Tuscany, saying, quote, we decided it would just be us and to really focus on the commitment and significance of marriage. And this is what she told people. It's easy to get caught up in all the glitz and glam. She doesn't even look at all familiar to me, y'all. Hopefully we get some information here. She says, so having our wedding just for us made the most sense and made it meaningful. When choosing a destination, the newlyweds explained that they wanted to pick a place that they had visited before, although Hannah had spent the past 2 summers in Italy attending cooking classes. She'd never been to Tuscany. Now that they've said I do, the pair is diving straight into exploring Tuscany before a honeymoon in Switzerland, then finally heading to Miami for a big reception party with friends and family in July. Wow, these pictures are gorgeous. So I'll have the pictures for you. We are doing 2-in-1, which made sense for us. This was said by Jake Funk, who is a running back for the Detroit Lions. He said we could just knock both of those out and then not have to wait until after football season to have an actual honeymoon. We plan to indulge in food and cooking classes and really start off our marriage by teaching him how to cook. This is what Hannah said, adding that they also hosted a family celebration as a final send-off before departing to Europe. They were in Europe. For the ceremony, Hannah embraced Italian culture by walking down the aisle to Italian music as the photographer Jana Brown captured the moment on camera. For her walk down the aisle, she wore a custom dress from the Wedding Studio, a small boutique in Indiana, which she discovered through HGTV. The Nashville native purchased the dress while she was living in Indianapolis with Jake while he was playing for the Indianapolis Colts. It's exactly what I wanted, she said. I felt it was simple enough, yet elegant and timeless. Jake opted for just a classic tuxedo from the Gentleman's Playbook, which you will see in the pictures, and his K Jewelers wedding band, okay, well, you know what? Every kiss begins with K, so why not, right? Which the couple had engraved with their initials on the inside was a nod to Jake's dad, who did the same thing for his mom on their wedding day, saying it was a way to honor his dad and continue that tradition. I thought it was really special. I guess his dad's not alive, I don't know, because often there are many customizations for girls, but for guys, this was a deep gesture. Reflecting on the planning process, Jake and Hannah took the lead and did a remarkable job. Good for them. Let's continue. Let's see what else I got here. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So yeah, I don't remember exactly who she is. I'm going to guess that she was a part of whatever season Hannah Brown was a part of. Again, I can't remember. It's way too long ago. But yeah, yeah, whatever season that was. And I think it's her because I remember there being two Hannahs, but I don't remember. Anyways, if you remember, help me jog my memory. But let's get into the reason that we are here. MILF Manor, Season 2, Episode 9, Runaway MILF. So, there was a threesome in the same room, apparently, as we kind of know, between David, Rebecca, and Connor, which is so fucking weird. And it's basically Kelle and Christina kind of asking David a little bit of questions as to what happened in the steam room. Did you get what you wanted? What happened in the steam room? Nothing but steam. And Christina and Kelle are just being very territorial. He kind of says, and we also see Rebecca wearing Anthony's underwear and just being really fucking obnoxious. Now, listen, I'm all about you being the life of the party, but she's too fucking much. Like, I feel like she puts it on. She needs to, I agree to an extent with Kelle here, although Kelle has a little bit of that too. We'll get there. But she's right in the sense of Rebecca is a pick-me girl. She's a woohoo girl. And I'm sorry, but at 40 fucking 8, I would hope if that, cause I'm none of those things, but at 48, if I were those things in my past, that by the time I turned 48, or long before 48, that I'm no longer those things. Like, that just seems like a sad way to live life. No, I don't need to be that way to be picked by somebody. Like, you shouldn't want me for who I really am, because it's those women that have this weird kind of thing that they're hiding. And when they get comfortable with you, you're going to be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, she's not being genuine. I think that's my biggest issue with her and why I'm just over it. But anyway, they're going to play Truth or Dare. The only people who are not a part of the Truth or Dare is Kelly Mack and conduction Darren as well. And obviously Barbie and Chris, because they're on their date. We'll touch base with them soon enough. So it's kind of how they're doing this Truth or Dare. It's kind of like a Truth or Dare Jenga type situation. So they have to pull like the blocks out like you do with Jenga. On each block has Truth or Dare on it. And then that person who pulls that brick out gets to say the truth or the dare to whomever they choose. So Christina ends up daring Connor to tongue kiss Kelle. Thank me later is what she says. So she's basically kind of doing this I got you type situation, which is like, I get it. I do. I see what Christina's trying to do here, but it's fucking weird. I'm sorry. But anyways, they do, obviously, in front of Rebecca. And Rebecca's like, ooh. Like, seriously. And she says it was uncomfortable. It definitely was uncomfortable watching Connor kissing her. Like, it was. David dares the new girl, so both Shauna and Rebecca, to ear kiss Joey at the exact same time. Now let's just paint the picture for those who didn't watch the show, because it's what I'm here for. It was very fucking disturbing. It looked like he was really getting off on this, and this is happening in front of Anthony, and Anthony's like squirming. And he's like squirming for two reasons. Number one, he's squirming because it's Rebecca. He's also squirming because it's his son having, like, this is happening in front of him. He's like, listen, we go on dates. That's fucking weird. There are no fucking boundaries. But he's like, we go on dates with each other. But there's certain things you just don't do, right? Lanette's over there just smiling from ear to ear, being like, I'm happy that it's not fucking you, Anthony. So it's all good. Then Stacy pulls a truth, and without even a fucking second thought, he decides in front of fucking Crystal. So Shauna, that's her name, right? Is it Shanna, whatever. You want to go out there and drink some wine, get to know each other? He's literally asking her on a date in front of Crystal. And here's the thing. I've been saying it from pretty much the moment one, before even Shauna entered the house. Stacy's not that into her, but he's not man enough to admit that he's not that into her. Just tell her that you're not into her. Instead, what you do is you, in front of her, ask this other girl out on a date. And obviously Crystal's like spiraling, like, the fuck? Like, this is enough for you to know. This is it. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So she says, no, thank you. I don't want to go out and have a glass of wine with you. Thank you so much. And she basically says, listen, I don't know what the fuck is going on between him and Crystal. I don't want to get all up into that. I can tell this guy is a smooth talker. Yes, the fuck he is. And he has been. He's been a smooth talker from the moment he realized he could smooth talk people, okay? Young age. And on top of that, she literally is like, and I kind of just want to pursue things with Joey, see where that's going. Now, the one thing I do want to say here, the stark difference, now they're two different women, but the stark differences between Shauna and Rebecca is that she's like, listen, I'm kind of feeling this one guy. I'm going to stick to this one guy. I'm not going to be messy. I'm going to do this. Rebecca's kind of the only one who's exploring all of the men all at one time. And listen, I don't have a problem in hindsight with that. She's annoying, but I don't have a problem with that in hindsight. But the problem is that this season, for some reason, this is the season where it seems that the women in this house are kind of focused on one guy at a time. And once like that dies out and that doesn't go anywhere, they move on to the next. So like, for example, we saw with Kelle, and also it's not just the women, the men are doing it too, not all of them, but some of them are, like Joey, Anthony, they're for examples. Well, actually not Anthony. Initially, not now, but Joey for sure. But that's basically what they're doing is like, with Kelle as the example here that I'm using, first it was Anthony, that didn't work out. Then it was Joey. Then it was Connor. And then when Joey decided to go on a date with Shauna, she's like, deuces. And she was going to try to stick with Connor, which is why she's being as territorial as she is with Connor. Same thing with Christina. She was like, I'm really feeling Joey. That doesn't go anywhere. Then she's like, okay, let me try Sam. That doesn't go anywhere. Or it's really not going anywhere. Then let me try on with David here. Like, that's kind of what they're doing. So when you have someone else who's doing the exact opposite of that and is stepping on toes, it's a problem. It is a problem. So when you have, I'm going ahead, but when you have someone here that's kind of like, well, aren't we here to do exactly what she's doing? Yes, but that is not the dynamic that's been established in this house. That's the problem. So she is the loudest one there because she is the one that's kind of going against the grain, which, and again, don't have an issue. Do you? Again, just annoying, but it's like, that's what you do. But it does have to get to a point where that's no longer what you're doing. But when you're having people coming in at these times throughout the season, it is going to ruffle feathers. Y'all know what you're doing. I see you. I see you, producers. Anyway, Stacy is frustrated though with this whole situation with Shauna because he's like, clearly Crystal is just staking her claim on me, and Shauna's well aware of that. I mean, what else could it be? Why would she not want to date with me? Because Stacy, you ain't all that. Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't date someone that much younger than me. I'm 33 and I wouldn't date a 21-year-old. Absolutely not. But I would even choose Joey over Stacy. That says something. Anyway, so then Kelle says to Connor, because she pulls a dare, she, without a fucking thought in her mind, literally says to Connor, I want you to fuck me like you want me. Now, first of all, if you're going to fuck somebody, usually because you want them, so I feel like that's already been covered, but who am I? And everyone's like, right here? In front of everybody? Should we leave? Or like, what's going on here? And she's like, no, let me leave clothes on. You can just like dry out me. It's fine. It's fine. The problem I have with Kelle is her way of thinking she can get what she wants because she's not the top dog in this house. No one's really a top dog in this house. So it's not like first season where she was the top dog. She was able to get exactly what she wanted. It didn't give a shit. And she still doesn't give a shit. But the problem with Kelle, I mean, it's no different than Rebecca. Rebecca's not doing anything differently than what Kelle is doing as well. And we'll talk about it in a minute. I'll point it out when we get there. But the problem with Kelle is that Kelle constantly uses her sexuality and her body to get her point across, when that can sometimes turn men off. However, I think that Connor is already made the decision to not even go there with Kelle because he is more interested in Rebecca. To just say so. Don't make it about, oh, you're a little much. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, he can see that she's just trying to, have a little bit of a pissing contest. And he's not about it. But we'll see how that goes. So, Lanette goes next and she dares Rebecca to give Connor a lap dance, and of course she does. It does feel a little less of a lap dance, a little more of a demonstration of the sex positions she likes to do. But anyways, again, who am I? And Anthony's like, I see you. I see what you're doing, Lanette. I see what you're doing. And she's like, all the more to keep her away from you, honestly. But here's the thing. I love Lanette. No one should have to do this. If he gives a shit about your feelings, this should be easy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, anyway, that happens. Oh, and I think also Lanette ends up saying, like, I'll do whatever I have to keep that bitch off of you. And all you hear from Rebecca is like, I'm not gonna hit you. Are you sure? Anyways, meanwhile, let's take it down a notch from the truth or dares. We're on a date. We are at Heritage Estate Winery, and they are going to be making some wine. They're going to be crushing grapes, just, like I Love Lucy style. And she says as much. She's like, this is so exciting for me because she has always wanted to do exactly that. She wants to have her I Love Lucy moment. And he doesn't know who this is, because she says, I want to have my Lucille Ball moment. And she's like, do you know who Lucille Ball is? And he's like, no. Who's this Lucy? Who's Lucille? Who? And she's like, Jesus Christ. I'm saying Jesus Christ. And I'm only, like, say 5 years older than him. I'm saying, Jesus Christ, how do you not know who Lucille Ball is? How do you not know I Love Lucy? Listen, I haven't had the privilege, the opportunity to watch every episode of I Love Lucy. I'm sure if I dig deep, I'll find it. But I have watched a few episodes here and there. And when I watched, I loved. She's incredible. The show is incredible. The show broke down barriers for women on television that they never had before. And we now have because of, right? And but besides the cultural differences and that the show created, this is a fucking classic. And Wine Crushing episode is a fucking classic episode. Even if you've never seen the episode, which I'm not sure if I've ever seen, I think I have seen the actual episode. But even if you haven't seen the actual episode, if you've watched a little movie called Pretty Woman, which if you haven't, listen to me. Huge. Big mistake. Big mistake. Huge. Just okay. But if you remember, there's the scene where Julia Roberts is lying on her stomach while Richard Gere is staring at her all like, ooh. And she's watching the I Love Lucy episode where she's crushing the grapes. How does this guy, who's the oldest guy, son in the house, he's 28 years old, how does he not know? Even just basic knowledge. I'm sorry, but if you are in a world where you are considered a millennial and you don't fucking even have a slightest hint of what I Love Lucy is and who Lucille Ball is, I'm sorry, Barbie, you need to rethink. So serious. Like, what? No. I'm sorry, no, that's just not right. Anyway. She's loving life though, Barbie, and she's kind of doing like the funny faces like she does in the show, and she's like, see, that's what she did. She did this on the show. But yeah, like, I'm sorry. I was out when he said, who? I was out. Like, no. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we will finish up the episode. Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. So I got a new song for you. This song is by Ian McFarland, and it's called Plus One to Heaven. I did get this song on the PodSafe music directory on the World Podcast Network. If you like the song, you can go down to the show notes where I have links to the song where you can listen and download, including the link to the PodSafe music directory. Well, without further ado, I'm going to play that song for you right now.
Stepped on, brought your dreams back from the damned. We know, new attitude, broken hearts, lyrics versus etudes. It's a great big world.
and I am back. So let's finish up this episode. So, back at the house, Anthony is telling Rebecca that he's going to be giving her a massage. Then he's giving her a massage, and let me create the visual for everybody who didn't watch the episode. He's behind her. Okay? They're facing a counter. And he's massaging her shoulders. But she is bent over the counter. And the visual is his hands on her shoulders while he's behind her. And her faces don't help. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I have definitely had sex just like that. I'm just saying, that's what it looks like. And everyone is seeing it. And everyone's kind of like whatever. But then Joey walks in and he literally does a double take and he's like, fuck, nope. And he literally looks, he's like, mm-mm. And he turns right back around and he's like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not about this. And then it's even worse because then Lanette sees it too. And everyone sees that Lanette is here seeing it. They're like, oh, like everyone knows this is not a good look. And she's like, what the fuck? Then she can also then see a little later on because she goes back upstairs, sees them, goes back downstairs, sees they're in the Rilfy room. Rebecca, let me paint the scene for you. Rebecca is on the bed and he's not on the bed, but he's standing beside her while she's lying on the bed, he's standing beside her and it looks interesting. We'll just say that. Then I can see all of this. She peeks in, she sees this, and she's like, I'm not doing that. And she goes back upstairs and she's going to bed. She said, fuck this shit, I'm out, I'm going to bed. And Anthony sees her going upstairs as he's leaving the Rilfy, and he says, yeah, I feel really bad for Lanette because I do really like Rebecca. Fuck you, Anthony. There's going to be a lot more fuck you, Anthony's through this episode. We're not there yet. So, Kelle is like, yeah, she's fucked with me too. She's fucking with everybody. We're seeing kind of this thing kind of starting to form up against Rebecca. So, back at the date, Chris asks, so how do you see things kind of playing out after this? And she says that she wants to be in his life and she wants to be at his stupid fights as much as she does not want to go there. She would hate it. And she says in the moment that she feels the most peace with him. She's like, I need more. Or so she says, I need more wine, because I think like she wasn't exactly planning for this. Funnily enough, she says like, I didn't necessarily think I was going to find anything actually meaningful here. And here I am kind of having this meaningful thing with Chris. She thought she would be leaving her alone, which is really interesting actually to kind of hear her say that. And it's kind of sad, but she says like, I'm very picky, I'm stuck in my ways, like this is maybe why, maybe there's more to that she's not saying, but it's kind of interesting to hear her say it. But yeah, so I think because of that, like you get that anxiety of, I'm really in this and I'm happy that I'm feeling things and I'm enjoying what I'm feeling, but it's anxiety ridden. It's a scary thing to have had your heart broken so many times, and then you finally find something, or you think you find something that is maybe something that you've been missing, and it's scary. Being vulnerable is so, I get her. But she gets emotional kind of saying that. She's like, my body is going to be getting old before yours. And I think the main thing is that she just wants to make sure she is still going to be seen as desirable to him. Listen, girl, I get it. Trust me. I understand what she's saying here with that. And it doesn't matter how many times you can say to someone, you are gorgeous, you're this, you're that. But his body's gonna go too. All of our bodies are gonna go. But what we have now isn't what we're gonna have when we're 60, 70, 80, 90, God willing. Our bodies are going to change. And if he can't love you and at the worst times, if you want to see it as that, or just your body developing, your body going through what it goes through, it's going to go through those things, then he don't deserve you. And that goes for any man at any age. It doesn't matter. So back at the house, Connor asks Rebecca, so do you want to go to the hot tub? And she's like, yeah, can we go nude? Can we go nude? Really? Bitch, listen to me. No. Number one, you should not ever go nude in a hot tub. Number one. Number two, no. Have some fucking respect for yourself. You don't know any of these fucking people. You've been here, 2 days? And you're just going balls to the wall hoping something sticks. I think that's my problem with her. I'm not a bubbly person, but I don't necessarily have issue with other people being bubbly. I mean, I might not be your friend, but it's not my issue necessarily that you might be a bubbly person. It's because I'm more quiet and to myself type of thing. But when I see not only that, but I see you kind of what feels like putting it on, and that's what it feels like for me with Rebecca, that she puts it on, and I'm just like, ugh, I'm just over it. Anyway. So yeah, no, you're not gonna go nude in the hot tub. Anyway, though, we do find out, though, thanks to, I think it's Kelle, saying that this is kind of happening after Anthony goes to bed. So it's like, on the one hand, Connor's taking advantage, maybe, that Anthony's asleep and is taking advantage of that so he can have time with Rebecca. And also, on the other hand, Rebecca's also taking advantage of the fact that Anthony's in bed, and so she's going to go spend time with Connor. I don't know. We can speculate. Maybe it's just coincidence. We'll never know. But it's interesting for sure. Meanwhile, we see Stacy talking to Crystal, and she says, I'm feeling you. Okay, but then you actually want to go on a date. You never did that for me. Y'all, she's drunk as a skunk. Just don't have serious conversations when drunk. But she is drunk. And she's like, just be real with me, dude. If you're into me, you're into me. If you're not, you're not. Just tell me. And so that I can go accordingly. I'ma say this, Crystal, honey. He told you without fucking telling you. You don't need this man to spell this shit out to you. He literally told you without fucking telling you that he is not that fucking into you. Because if Shauna said yes, he would have gone on that date, and if it went well, he's forgotten about you. He literally told you. Now it feels like he's, okay, resorting back to the original plan here with Crystal. But as soon as y'all are out of the manor, you're never fucking hearing from him again. He's literally telling you exactly everything that you want him to tell you. He's telling you, you're choosing to ignore it. It's actually really fucking sad at this point. You need to stand up for yourself and say, deuces, I'm done, because you're not showing me anything. This man is out here being like, I don't want to date, I don't want to date, I don't want to do this yet, because of my divorce and this and that. Sir, you fucking cheated on your wife. Calm the fuck down here. I am sorry. I don't buy it anymore. This man about how, my divorce really fucked me up, and I was really just not ready to date anybody or anything like that. I want to take things slow. Sir, you fucking cheated on your wife. And the reason we fucking know this is because Miles outed your ass. That's how we know you cheated on your wife. So this whole thing about how, oh, you know, I just need time. Time for what? Your dick ended up in someone else. You need time. You need time. Okay, good to know. Don't buy it. I don't fucking buy a word this man says. And Crystal Nisa's not with him. Move on. Leave the house if you need to leave the house and find something else. All right? Follow Jamie out and be like, you know, I mean, Jamie had a boyfriend, but you know what I mean? It's just, it's nuts. Anyway, so at the hot tub, we see Connor saying that Kelle, man, she's crazy. Yeah, So let's just resort to calling women crazy. Why? Why? I mean, Kelle is a lot for sure, but to call a woman crazy, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And Rebecca just sitting there letting that fucking shit happen. Now, like I said, I don't think Rebecca's crazy. I don't think Kelly's crazy. I don't think we should resort to calling any woman crazy. But, I mean, if you want to fucking see crazy, I'll show you crazy. But, let's not fucking do that. Like I've said Rebecca's annoying. But, and I've said Kelle can be a lot, for sure. But to resort to crazy because why? She's expressing interest in you. She's being territorial, which, you know, we can take it or leave it or whatever, but those aren't reasons to call someone crazy. If you're not into her, then how about you fucking man up, sir, and tell her, you know what, it's not working for me. That's a better thing to do than just being like, you know, let's see where the cards lie. I hate this shit. But so he said that's a turnoff for him though, her being territorial, which is like, okay, fine, whatever. And he's like, I think you would be a better fit for me. And Rebecca's like, really? I am so happy to hear it. Are you? What are you going to tell Anthony tomorrow? You know? Anyway. So she's like, but of course she's going to keep the options open because, you know, why not? Then Kelle is like, they're in the hot tub. She's a second choice. Little does Kelle know that she's actually the second choice, or really no choice. She's like, let's go crash. Let's go crash the hot tub. And she's roping to Christina into all of this, which is like, Christina, worry about yourself. I feel like ever since Kelle entered the house, it's been this weird, like, take team with them. And she's not focused on building a connection with somebody. She's more focused on the drama, Kelly's drama. You know what I mean? But I kid you the fuck not. Kelle uses this little number and says, cash me as I have about that. And I said, whoa. That's one I haven't heard in a minute. But yeah, let's use a line that a fucking 13-year-old girl, however fucking old she was at the time. Let's use that terminology. Let's use that. That sounds about right. Anyways, she's like, clearly Rebecca is a pick-me girl. Kelle, so are you. Not in the same way, but you kind of are the same. Like, you're literally saying to Connor, fuck me like you want me, and you think you're not a pick-me girl? Okay. Sounds about right. To go to the hot tub, she's like, hey, Rebecca. Hi, bitch. What's going on? And she's like, you know, that's cute. No. Please keep going. Don't stop at my accord. And she's like, I just want to see where you're at. And Connor thinks that she's talking to him. It's like, no, her. I want to know where she's at. So she's like, you're pursuing all the men in the house. She's like, you know, you're pissing off all the women. And Rebecca's like, no, I'm not. Now, to be fair to Rebecca, she's not pursuing all the men in the house. She's pursuing Anthony and Connor. for a second there, she was kind of pursuing David, but I think her main focuses in the house are Anthony and Connor. That's not all the guys in the house. That's 2 guys out of, what is it, 8? I don't even know. That's not all the guys. The issue is that those are guys who are quote unquote taken. And those are guys that, Kelle's the one that's the most threatened one here. Obviously, and Lanette is too, but Lanette is handling herself very differently than Kelle does. And we've seen this with Kelle. She did this to Jamie. Jamie deserved it, but she did this with Jamie. And that turned Anthony off. And we're now seeing her doing it with Rebecca. And that's turning Connor off, even though, let's not forget, Connor's already been turned off. But yeah, like, it's, yeah. So, yeah, technically she's not pursuing all the men in the house. Then Kelle says, Connor says, it looks like I made the right choice. Because Kelle, I think, ends up leaving, actually, when this happens. But of course, Kelle can hear him say that, and she's like, yeah, you made the right choice. And Rebecca's like, she thinks that I'm getting with all the men. That's really funny. Technically, she's not, so I get it. And it feels that way. It definitely does, but she's not doing that. And she goes back into the house, and Darren says they're going to her and asking her for time. It's not the other way around, which he's not wrong. Rebecca isn't going to these men and saying, give me attention. Anthony's going to her saying, here's dinner. I got dinner for you, and the Lanette's here too. I got dinner for you. Oh, you want a massage? Let me hump you while I give you a massage. I can do that for you. Anthony's doing that. Connor and David are the ones approaching her saying, do you want to go to the steam room? Connor's the one who approached her and said, do you want to go to the hot tub? It isn't her. Now again, she's annoying, but it's true. And even again, I'm going to give the same energy to this, even though I don't particularly like Rebecca, but I'm going to give the same energy to this that I gave to with the whole Barbie kissing Jacob bullshit. Even if she was going after these men and asking for time from them, who cares? This is the show. This is what you do. You got time, you steal time, you do what you gotta do to make sure you're ahead. This is what you do. The problem is that she's going after Kelle's guy. And Kelle is not motherfucker. But the funny thing is that I don't know if Kelle was fully aware of how things are going. But she's like fighting back with Darren, being like, no, she's doing it. And he says, no, they are the ones approaching her. And she's like, really? Really? Like, she's caught off guard by the mere idea that Connor would want to go and have more time with her over having time with Kelle. How could he ever, And Shauna thinks that Rebecca is here to just have fun. She's not necessarily looking for love. But that's what all of them are doing. I think the only women here who are actually looking for something actually fulfilling is Kelle Mack, Lanette, and funnily enough, according to Barby at this point. But I don't for a second think that Barby initially came into this thinking that she was going to find something meaningful. That just happened. So out of, we've had 8 women here in total. 8, sorry, hold on, I'm thinking 8, 9, 10, whatever it is. In total, 3 of them actually potentially want something that's actually a meaningful relationship. None of them want to have anything really serious. That's not surprising. Okay? Even, Kelle can be like, I want that. I don't think she really does. So, maybe Christina too, but I don't know. So, then Kelle is like kind of stalking Rebecca a little bit, Christina with her as well, on the top floor there where they can kind of like lean over and see everything. And Rebecca and Connor are coming back in from the hot tub, and they're kind of talking to Shauna and Joey, like, oof. And Rebecca kind of turns around and she sees Kelle and she's like, I'm fine. I'm not doing anything. You don't have to worry about me. And Kelly's like, but you think I'm worried about you? That's really funny that you think I'm worried about you, because I'm not. But you are worried about her. Otherwise, you wouldn't be like stalking her the way you are. And then like they're kind of like fighting with each other, obviously kind of reiterating a lot of the same things. And while this is kind of happening, as we know, Lanette was in bed, sulking. And she hears Rebecca was in the hot tub with Connor. She knows it's with Connor. But she says, how could Anthony want to pursue something with somebody who isn't even all in with him? Yet I am all in with him. Why am I not enough? And it was at this particular point in time that she says, I'm done. I don't need to be here. I don't need to stay here. I'm going home. And you're like, no. So we see her packing, and Max sees her and she's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm leaving. I don't need to be here. And Kelle Mac is like, it would be a disservice to Lanette if she were to leave. You know, maybe it didn't work out with Anthony, but she could potentially have a connection with somebody else who, I mean, here's the sad thing about it. 2 new guys are coming into the house next week, and maybe she could have had something with one of those guys. We'll never know though, and she'll never know. And I will get to it. I kind of understand her. But meanwhile, Kelle is really going at Rebecca. And like, go to bed, go to bed. Like, no one cares about you. Yikes, Kelle, yikes. Listen, like I said, Rebecca's annoying. But to say to somebody, no one cares about you, is really fucking low. It's very mean girl. It's not fucking necessary to get your point across. But this is the problem. She is the kind of person that in order to make sure you don't hurt me, I gotta hurt you first. And that was really fucking low. Everyone sees Lanette going past them with their bags saying, have a nice day, I'm leaving. And they're like, wait. Like, she's leaving. And they try to get her to stay, and maybe you can find love with someone else here. And Joey is also there too with her, and he says, like, I do believe Lanette is better for my father. And he says, like, I know, like, he genuinely cares about you. But then we just see Lanette breaking down. And this is kind of when you realize, like, yes, I think Anthony is the catalyst to all of this, but this is so much more deep rooted than Anthony and pursuing Rebecca, because she says, like, I've been through enough. It's just heartbreaking to see her reaction here. She says, I'm so hurt. She uses words like, I'm damaged. Like, I'm gonna try not to get emotional here, but obviously I'm younger than Lanette or any of these women here. But when you go through a divorce, and I'm sure anyone listening to this will understand this, no matter how old you are, if you've gone through a divorce as a woman, because for some reason it's like men get away with going through a divorce and not having the stigma of the divorce on. But when you're a woman going through a divorce, you don't get away from that stigma. And you not only feel like you are damaged goods, but men's actions, sometimes their words, make it very fucking clear sometimes that maybe to them you are damaged, and that just adds and adds and adds on to the reality of I have said things to myself. Who's gonna want to deal with me 26 and divorced or 27 and divorced? Like, who'd want to deal with me? And luckily, I found a person who could look past those things and left me despite those things. But you're always worrying whether or not someone else, like, if someone would ever be that understanding. And to hear her use words like damaged, hurt, I've gone through enough, words that I've echoed to myself in my mind many, many times, and have said in therapy many, many times. And it's so fucking hard. And when you have someone who you think you can actually have something with, who's telling you everything you want to fucking hear, and as soon as the new shiny toy shows up, who is just starkly different than you, there goes the plummet yet again. So I really felt for her in this moment. I totally understood her in this moment. And I understood her ultimate decision to leave, and she did while Anthony was sleeping. So it'll be interesting to see when he wakes up in the morning to see the damage he's caused. And not only that, but to see his reaction to it as well. But I'm really sad to see her go. I really like Lanette. I wasn't sure on Lanette. I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I wasn't sure about Lanette. Not so much about her as a person, but just the presence that she was going to have on a show like this. Because Joey's right. She is very wholesome and pure and not made for a show like this. And she grew on me because this thing that was happening between her and Anthony grew on me. And it's really sad to see her leave. And I'm really, really, really upset with Anthony. Like I said, he's on my shit list and it's real difficult to get me off. I kind of, at this point, after seeing this, kind of want Rebecca to screw over Anthony and end up with Connor. Then also screw over Kelle too. And I don't wish that necessarily on Kelle, but I think she needs a reality check. So I guess we'll see kind of how that goes, but that's the end of the episode. So next time on, we see, I think it's Connor, somebody, talking to Rebecca. We got 2 new men coming on to the show. What is your favorite sex position is, I guess, a part of the next challenge. There are a lot out there. Let me tell you though. Let me tell you something. The best sex position, or I think the proper thing they said was the best sex position. The best sex position, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, is what your partner likes to do. Listen, I know what my partner likes. He knows what I like. Actually, strangely, really well. But he knows what. And that is what's the best position. So one of the fathers kind of does say, well, what does she like? It's a true man right there. So Barby and Chris end up fighting, and now it looks like we might be losing Barby as well. I don't know about this. I don't like it. But that's basically it for the episode. We're almost there, guys. We're almost at the end of the season. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 episodes left, but we're getting there. But yeah, that is it for this episode of MILF Manor. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Kelle, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.